Phoebe holds a fascinating place in the New Testament narrative, and Jehovah's Witnesses view her as a shining example of Christian devotion, hospitality, and loyalty. Although the Bible's mention of Phoebe is relatively brief, the insights gleaned from Romans chapter 16 verses 1-2 paint a remarkable portrait of her character. Let's explore the biblical context surrounding Phoebe, how Jehovah's Witnesses interpret her role, and what lessons she imparts to believers today. Scriptural references and background. The primary mention of Phoebe appears in the Apostle Paul's letter to the congregation in Rome. In Romans chapter 16 verses 1-2, Paul writes, "I am introducing to you Phoebe our sister, who is a minister of the congregation that is in Cenchreae, so that you may welcome her in the Lord in a way worthy of the holy ones and give her whatever help she may need from you, for she herself also proved to be a defender of many, including me." New World Translation. From these verses, we learn the following. Phoebe was part of the congregation in Cenchreae. Cenchreae was a port town located near Corinth in Greece. It was an important commercial hub, but from Paul's letter, we see that it was also a place where a Christian congregation was flourishing. She was described as a minister, or servant, of the congregation. The original Greek word used here is diakonos, often translated as minister, or servant. Jehovah's Witnesses note that this term underscores her active role in supporting the congregation. While it doesn't necessarily mean she held any formal office, like an elder or overseer, positions the Bible indicates were reserved for qualified men, it does highlight her significant service and devotion to her fellow believers. She was a defender of many. Paul commends Phoebe for having proved to be a defender of many. The Greek word sometimes translated helper or protectress suggests that she might have used her resources, home, or personal influence to assist Christians who needed shelter, financial help, or moral support. How Jehovah's Witnesses view her role. Jehovah's Witnesses frequently refer to Phoebe when discussing the meaningful contributions of faithful Christian women in the early congregation. While first-century culture often limited the public roles women could hold, Phoebe stands out as someone who was entrusted with a mission of some importance, very likely delivering Paul's letter to the Roman congregation. Her inclusion in the apostles' greetings and instructions indicates that she was respected and had a proven track record of helpfulness. A trusted envoy. Many scholars, including Jehovah's Witnesses, believe Phoebe may have personally carried Paul's epistle to Rome. In that era, this task was highly significant. Couriers often needed to show reliability and loyalty, since delivering letters could involve navigating political or religious tensions. Phoebe was apparently trusted by Paul to fulfill this duty diligently. An encourager and supporter. Phoebe's role as a defender implies that she provided tangible support, possibly lodging or financial assistance, to traveling Christians like Paul or other believers who needed help. Her generosity, as recognized by Paul, suggests she was well regarded for her hospitality. Jehovah's Witnesses highlight her as a positive example for those who can assist traveling overseers or fellow believers in need today. A model of Christian devotion. Although the Bible does not tell us more about her specific activities or personal background, Jehovah's Witnesses often point out that Phoebe's faithful service in the congregation underscores the valuable role that Christian women played, and still play, in helping and strengthening the congregation. Lessons for modern-day believers. Jehovah's Witnesses draw several important lessons from Phoebe's example. Hospitality and kindness. Like the first-century Christians, modern-day believers can imitate Phoebe by being hospitable and caring for the needs of others. This goes beyond offering material assistance. It can include emotional support or simply being a trusted confidant for those undergoing trials. Willingness to serve. Phoebe's designation as a minister of the congregation shows that all Christians have avenues to serve Jehovah and their brothers and sisters. Her example highlights that service in the Christian congregation isn't only about public speaking or formal leadership roles. Any dedicated, wholehearted support can build up the entire congregation. Cooperation with arrangements. Phoebe's possible role in delivering Paul's letter shows she cooperated willingly with the arrangement made by a congregational overseer, the Apostle Paul. Today, Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize cooperating with organizational arrangements, such as volunteer work, assignments to serve in different congregations, or helping in various branches of their worldwide activities. Good reputation and Christian character. Paul warmly recommends Phoebe to the Christians in Rome. That endorsement implies she had an outstanding reputation. Jehovah's Witnesses view this as encouragement to cultivate qualities like dependability, loyalty, humility, and moral cleanliness. Traits that would make any Christian a treasured asset to their congregation. Phoebe's place in Jehovah's Witness teachings. Jehovah's Witnesses often point to Phoebe in publications or discussions as an example of a faithful Christian sister. They see her story as a practical reminder that women were vital in the early church and that each believer's sincere efforts, regardless of gender, are invaluable to the spiritual family. Because the account of Phoebe appears directly in the inspired scriptures, Jehovah's Witnesses believe it carries special weight, affirming that God appreciates and values the services rendered by all his worshippers. Please share and like and please subscribe.